The crooning.
Well, yeah, the vibe was great.
Oh yeah,
yeah, the vibe and
the crooning, the vibe is wonderful.
It was awesome sauce, but
when we cut through. Well, hold on, what? Tell me.
Hello. Hello. What's up, y'all? It's Mr. Better Than Your Average, Jay Carter, coming to you live from Instagram and YouTube on behalf of the How Did We Get Here show. And my man is always heard and never ever seen.
Absolutely.
Skeens is to my left.
What up?
AKA the Wizard of Oz.
That's me, man. Background killer.
The background killer. And want to shout out, rocking my man Scoot, Wellness Warrior.
Yes, sir.
Sweater. Hey, y'all ain't gotta be afraid. Y'all can send us merchandise for promotional purposes. You know what I'm saying?
What up, Scoot?
But yeah, we're gonna see if a couple of people will get in here.
New track too.
Yep, shout out to Scoot on the new track. We will be doing a live, hopefully in the next coming days, with my brother from another mother, Dominic Giovanni Tedisco, has a new EP dropping, and we wanted to talk some music talk with him. But the reason that we are here tonight, I put descriptions in here, but I don't know how it shows up on that side. Does it show up? I guess you could look over there to see if it shows up. But what we wanted to talk about, we'll see if a few people get on. But this is a question for the ladies. Skeens and I were talking, and I was talking with a number of things triggered this thought and idea. We were looking at stuff and commentaries and podcasts and different things like that, you know, discussing women's empowerment and things of that nature and relationships. Of course, you know, we always going to roll everything back to relationships and stuff like that. But Skeens and I were having the discussion. Oh, and another friend of mine, ladies, also was telling me, you know, Jay, you guys need to check out the Jazmine Sullivan album. The quote unquote hotels, the hotels. And we haven't digested it together, but some of it, you know, we listen to, you know, the whole thing as individuals or whatever. But what we were thinking about is the empowered woman, the educated woman, you know, all of these things that we have today about the women's independence and things of that nature. Has the independent woman, the question to the independent woman is, has your independence led to successful relationships or has it not? Has it led to more, are you fulfilled or are you just full of it, pretending like you fulfilled? You know what I'm saying? Now, again, I know there's going to be a whole bunch of women that's going to jump on my back and say that they are fulfilled, that they don't need anybody. But would you guys say that the majority or the minority of women want to be in successful, loving relationships with the husband and children? Do you feel like that's maybe is the reason why we're skewed in our vision is because that actual women wanting to be in that space has dropped off some? Is that not the dream and the goal to have a husband, the children, you know, for lack of a better term, the picket fence? We're doing family vacations, all that kind of stuff. Is that not the desire of the modern day woman? What say you? I was talking to my homegirl about the Jazmine Sullivan album. And while, of course, Jazmine vocally is beautiful, the vibe is beautiful. You know, her ability to sing and write and all of that stuff. I mean, it's outstanding. But while I know a part of what women are saying is that it's so real and relatable, I told her it takes me back to Skeens and our very first episode of How Did We Get Here was women are horrible decision makers or something like that. Of course, I was trying to, we were trying to say that to catch some attention, but I told her that I feel like it's a rallying cry in support of women making bad decisions. And I'm not that guy that gives a pass on the other side for men. I'm saying that we all are trash on both sides. But I've seen that a whole bunch of women feel but I'm wondering too, Skeens, is the fact that the album comes out and it's so relatable, is that saying, hey, that it's actually cool, you know what I'm saying, for me to be out here and be a fodder for the streets, so to speak. What you got, man? There go Nikki. I thought you was asleep, baby. I wasn't gonna wake you up, man. But anyway, what you say? What say you, Skeens?
Well, let's talk about how this conversation actually really came about, right?
Okay, let's talk about it.
We watch I guess you have the red pill, the blue pill,
right?
We talk about Kevin Samuel, and then we talk about what's the man named
Derrick Jackson, yes.
So the question was, Derrick has a huge following,
humongous,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And as a man, we tend not to agree with a lot of the different doctrine or the different statements Derrick and advice Derrick gives to women. Mm-hmm. So the question was, for all the women that listen to Derrick, has his advice, heeding his advice, his counseling, has that led you to find that mate, mm-hmm. a great relationship because of what he's told you? Mm-hmm. Or have he empowered you to the point that you feel that you don't need to be with anyone because he's telling you that you have a certain level that you should be? Mm-hmm. And now, if your goal is to remain single, then that's great, by all means. But if you're looking for his advice to lead you down the path of finding the person of your dream, mm-hmm. chances are, I would love to find love to do a poll, right, and talk to the women that have followed his doctrine, mm-hmm. people that had his classes and things like that. See what has a success rate of women that have found relationships. Mm-hmm. But if your loneliness is has hit a streak of an all-time high, yeah, then trash that playbook, right? Get a new coach, right? But we talk about the Jasmine Sullivan album, right? Mm-hmm. And he's talking about how women find it relatable. Mm-hmm. What portion of it is relatable? Mm-hmm. Is the bad decision making the most relatable portion? Right. Or the quote unquote conversation about, I think she had feelings. She was talking about the guy, give me my keys, you was cheater, and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. What are you relating to most? Right. Because if you're relating to the body count that she talked about in the first song, she talked about her body count was too high. Her many drunken night, like The Weeknd talks about. Right. That waking up with different people, you don't know who it was, you don't know if you had a good time, you don't know how many people you slept with that night. Mm-hmm. I mean, now if you're enjoying the activities that, so by all means, hey, mm-hmm. live it up. Right. But if your mentality is to have companionship, then you're going about it the wrong way. Mm-hmm. Or if you're talking about actually being in an actual relationship, the drunken nights of hopping from bed to bed is not going to lead you to the right bed. Mm-hmm. It's just going to lead you to another bed. Right. Well, and one of again, to start off the album, she talks about again, like she said, she doesn't know how she got there. She don't know what happened. There's a track where she basically talks about the D is so good, even though he is trash, he stayed with his mama. The other chick, there was an interlude where she was again talking about she know it was wrong, but the D had her mind under control. Okay. So our thing is, and we are pro men, we're very pro man. There's always been, not always, but there's been a narrative at times where
women are so much more elevated and advanced than men are. But I'm like, women are falling in some of the, because like we always say, they pretend like men do stuff on their own. They're doing it with other women.
Yeah.
So there's a party that's involved in that we pretend like it doesn't happen.
Well, even as we talk about, she's sleeping with the guy because the deed was so good, right?
Right.
The walking contradiction.
Mm-hmm.
We can't talk about that men are intimidated by me because I got my ish together. I'm such a great woman. Right. I'm empowered, but yet and still talk about the guy that's sleeping on the couch.
Right.
He can't be intimidated by you, but still sleep on the couch playing the PS5 all day.
Right.
I'm pretty sure she bought him a new PS5.
Right.
So you can't talk about the dude being that. So we can't request a guy to be a certain way, but then complain about who he is. Like that one joint with
Iyanla.
When she talked to the mother about the mother talking about she didn't respect the son and the type of man he is.
Right.
So she asked her, what type of man is it that you fully respect?
Mm-hmm.
And she told her, she also asked, did you raise him to be that type of man?
Right.
If you didn't raise him to be the type of man that you deem is the man that modeled in your view that you see a man should be, how can you complain to him about him not being that man?
Right.
So it goes to relationships. We can't complain about, and that goes both ways. Guys can't complain about, I can't find a good girl, but you with woman just for the streets.
Right.
Same way with a woman can't talk about, I want a good guy, I want this and that, but I'm sleeping with the dude that's still laying at his mama house. I'm letting him use my car. I know he's not using my car to go try to find a job.
Right.
Or to start his own business. He used my car to go whip it around, and chances are he using my car to go whip something into somebody else, y'all.
Right.
But you gave him the keys, literally, in the vehicle to go get something else.
Right.
But they're complaining that he went and got with somebody else.
Right. Right.
Or you sleep with a guy that's in a relationship.
That's what our first show was about.
You get with a guy that's in a relationship, but then be shocked that he cheated on you.
Right. Right.
You come in the way you leave. You leave the same way you come in.
Yep, for sure. And I think, well, we always talk about that old Rob Parker quote. You can't be shocked if an alcoholic want to stop by the liquor store. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think, and again, my homegirl and I were just texting about it, and she was like, well, she was saying that this day and age, because of social media and things of that nature, and men don't even know how to treat a woman, and in our time when we came up, a man knew how to treat a woman, show her some respect, and break a little bread on her and stuff. But I told her, my pro man rebuttal to that is the price of admission to the box dropped.
Exactly.
The price is low. Dude ain't gonna I'm not gonna pay more for this than it costs to get in here.
It's like walking down 6th Street.
Right.
In the crib,
right.
You say you pay 20.
Right.
You pay 10, 20 to get in. Then at the house,
right,
in Arkansas, after 12 o'clock, the price doubles, quadruples after 12 o'clock.
Absolutely.
On 6th Street, they tell, hey man, come in, it's free. And we got a drink special.
Absolutely. It's a simple supply and demand.
But also, right, bro, the thing is, when women talk about rejection,
okay,
and the guys that one song she was talking about, the rejection. A lot of the rejection is because you rejected the direction God has sent for you. It had you going on. You want to navigate. You know how people say, Jesus, take the wheel. No, you try to take the wheel.
Right, you
snatched it back.
You snatched it back. Yeah.
And you want to create your own driving path. So when you go, so that rejection that you're receiving from that guy that you shouldn't have been with in the first place is you rejecting the path God set for you.
Okay.
Women go through these. You have the cheat sheet. You have women intuition, but yet and still don't use it.
Right.
But then get mad that you with a guy that was a horrible person.
Right.
And was it that song or some other song we talk? Or women talking about why he do me that way on one of the songs.
Oh yeah.
You shouldn't be with him any longer anyway. You graduated.
Yes.
you graduated.
You
graduated. Look, you got your cap and tassel.
Yep.
You was with him for a season in your life.
That's it. Yep.
You graduated school.
You learn what you need to learn. Go ahead.
But yet and still, you want to repeat school.
You want to go back and repeat when you passed.
You passed. Because that guy that you was with, you found in your dealings with him wasn't the right person for you.
Yes.
So that point of your life, you attracted that type of person.
Mm-hmm.
So when things become turbulent and he went his own way, or so on and so forth, you graduated.
Yes.
That tumultuous past situation right there.
Yes.
But yet and still, you want to take the class again.
You want to go back and repeat. And they like, hey, no, you graduated, right? No, I didn't.
Yeah. you coming back with you coming back with
get this diploma out of my face.
Everybody comes. You come back to school the first day fresh with a new outfit. Like, yo, what you doing here? That is the relationship.
Right.
You hop back in a relationship with the same person.
Right.
And it becomes Groundhog Day. You repeat the same thing. You and then you smile. Then you repeat those same tears, and you repeat those same conversations with your girlfriends about why he do me this way.
Mm-hmm.
He did you the way he was doing you, so somebody else can do you better.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So again, ladies, why are we repeating the lesson? Y'all have to let us know. Again, independent woman. The question is, independent woman. Have you found your independence has led to more relationships or more loneliness? Are you fulfilled or are you just full of it, pretending that you fulfilled? We want to know. We want to know from the man perspective, because a lot of this rhetoric that we see out here, and again, Derrick Jaxn is one of he will take a situation where it's like, okay, let's just talk in facts and reality, and he's going to skew it. No, if a man tells you that he really didn't like what you did in the relationship, it's really an indictment of him. It's not an indictment of you, and that you need to look at yourself. He need to look at himself, because it's never about you. You know, it's just like, God, dog, Derrick.
But as we talked about, the thing, the hidden secret of Derrick is he is by far the most male chauvinist of them all.
Talk about it.
Because he don't believe by him pandering.
Yes, that lets you know he doesn't have any faith or belief.
Yes, he's pandering. He's telling you that you're great, you're wonderful, participation trophy.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, his male ego will not allow him to believe that you're strong enough to hear the truth.
Hear the truth.
But yet and still, you thinking, oh, it's a pat on the back. No, it's a pat on the back and away from the truth. He's shielding you. It's just like, they talk about PKs. I'll use it worse.
Right.
Because the parents do so much to try to shield it.
Preacher's kids. Yeah.
Try to shield them from the world.
Yeah.
But then when they get out and about, they're on the other side, because you didn't believe they were strong enough. Mm-hmm. You didn't believe that you raised them with the right morals and principles.
Yep.
And it's the same thing Derrick does with a lot of women. He placates, he hides all the truth from you and make you think, oh my God, you're right. It wasn't me.
It was
at the same time, while you keep making the register ring.
Yep.
He still got that hand out.
Absolutely.
He's not doing it for free.
We're curious too. How many, Derrick Jaxn,
King Charles CD, fake
the rap version of TD Jakes prophesied on all your CDs and tapes.
That's enough.
Okay.
Don't know.
But how many women that follow
that was for
Derrick,
educational purpose lost right there. Those lines.
How many women that follow Derrick Jaxn's teachings are in successful relationships? I don't know. We don't know.
We would love to find out.
We're just curious. Just food for thought. You know what I mean? Because who of us that is always hearing what we want to hear is at a better place?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think any of us have grown by hearing what we want to hear all the time.
It's no different than going to the weight room.
Right.
If there's a thing with, the breakdown, the muscle fatigue.
Absolutely.
If you come out, leave the gym, you're not out of breath, you're not sweating, you still feel better than you left before you got in there.
Yep.
You did nothing.
Well, there's a principle that they call progressive overload when you work out, right? So it's progressively, basically, it's simply just progressively over time. What up, Kai? Almighty. Over time, you add more weight, which your body adapts to a certain weight. You have to add more weight more weight, your body adapts. So if you're not giving your body an adaptative stimulus, then you will stay the same. It's the same thing with this. If nobody's challenging you to be different, then you're going to stay the same. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're curious about. You know what I'm saying? I know, again, we were having a discussion with my homegirl, my sister Tamika, a few days ago, and she was, independent woman doing her thing, got her own spot, she works, then she also has her own business. And what we were discussing is that she was like, if I remember correctly, her love language would probably be that it's acts of service, right? Mm-hmm. But what we were highlighting is that she wasn't even making space because of her independence. Her independence is this big, so it's like, okay, where do I fit in?
And who does he meet?
You know what I'm saying?
Does he meet the nurturer, or does he meet this independent woman?
Right. Absolutely.
And if you're 100% independent, then I'm just a tag along.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm just a tag along. So, just food for thought, guys. Again, women, independent women. Are you in successful relationships? Are you successful? And would you say that it's because men are trash and men aren't able to step up to the plate, or is any of it? Not saying all of it, is any of it a part of you? What parts can you admit are you? What parts would you say are because the men that you have found in this day and age are trash? They don't step up to the plate. Everyone they don't know how to treat a woman. Right. You know what I'm saying?
What role do you play?
What role do independent women play in lack of successful relationships? Or what role do they play in successful relationships?
What role have you played yourself?
Right.
Have you typecast yourself into playing the same role all the time?
Mm-hmm.
Then if not, you need a new script.
Right.
If it's like my man, rest in peace, Tiny.
Oh yeah.
You know, you're typecast into the same character all the time.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Then you complain about the role.
Mm-hmm.
Not him per se, but people do those type of things. So if you're typecasting, looking for the same type of guy,
mm-hmm.
new script. If you're being the same person in every relationship,
right? Yep. Have you evolved? Have you changed? Have you evaluated? And we're talking about women right now, but we all have to evaluate ourselves daily.
Exactly.
In relationships. You know what I mean? How could I have been better? What can I change? How can I adapt? How can I compromise? Things of that nature. The boy Kevin Samuels was talking to a chick recently. A quick version of the story is that I believe she had been married a number of years. I believe they had 2 kids, something like that. 2 kids. And she's a woman that wants to be married, but she was divorcing her husband because she was saying that he stopped her from her career. Is the career over the relationship, or is there a balance that we can find? Kai said a relationship should not be meaning just an additive for companionship through life's journey. Okay. So I thought it was a good point that he made, that she was in a position that women that want a relationship, and if I understand, her husband was the sole provider, she didn't have to work, etc., etc. Not saying that that's every woman's dream, but I would think that in a solid relationship that you will find a way to compromise. If you're saying that outside of, y'all having a debate about careers and things of that nature, that you would be able to see in a healthy relationship, that you'd be able to see your way through that to sustain the family. That's just my perspective, though. Again, we were talking about the value of the box for the woman has gone down over time. Has the value of relationships to a majority or more people, has the value of relationships going down?
That's the reason why the divorce rate is so high. We live in a very microwave society,
right?
Which in turn, that microwave mentality is the microwave of getting in and getting out.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like dog years.
Right.
You don't know.
Right.
And the expectancy of the relationship is very short.
Yep.
And now that with the fluidity and everyone wants their right to be whoever, do what you want to do, and that doing what you want to do doesn't seem to be a companion to being in a relationship. Mm-hmm. It's like on the opposite end of the spectrum. Mm-hmm. So if you want to do what you want to do and want to be free, by all means be you, whether male or female.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
But we can't then complain about what the lack of what we have. So mm-hmm. It's the 80-20 rule. Is that 20% of being in the streets and doing what you want to do better than the 80% of being in a relationship that actually means something?
Right.
So only you can make that call for yourself. That's an individual. Every individual have to have their own inner conversation. Mm-hmm. So my right is not going to be what's right for you, and so on and so forth. And I can't judge you either way, nor can you judge me. So if you see me with my girl and say, "Hey, he's simp because he or she trash because she listening to that
guy." Sorry, technical difficulties.
Well, she do what he says. Hey, it is what it is.
Yep. Kai, you talk about love language, brother. Mine is time and touch. Quality time and touch. What about you, brother? Ooh. All right, Gucci. My foot though. I don't know what Skeen's love language is.
A little bit of lie.
See,
I'm as simple as they come. I'm as simple as they come.
Yeah, space and affection. Okay. Yeah. I can definitely identify with some of that. Is space one of them? Or did you make that up? But I know what you mean, though. Coming up as an only child, man, I can kind of go, like I said, within myself, man, and just kind of be, you know what I mean, and be straight. And Skeens wasn't the only child, but he got that same thing. He calls it hermit. He go into hermit mode. You know what I'm saying? That should be the next topic. Okay, yeah. Kyle, we'll have to we'll make that happen, man. We'll have to all get on and talk some love language stuff. We talked about it in one of you weren't on that live, the one before the last one. We got into some of that stuff, and we actually had one of the homegirls. She came on and shared some of her perspective on being a single, independent woman and stuff, and we got into love language and stuff like that. So, but anyway, man, as always, guys, please go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. We still got appreciate the participation but we still got this literally like 66% of our viewers are not subscribed. So man, it's just easy. Click that subscribe, hit that little bell so you know when our videos and lives come up. Share the video, talk trash to us, support us. Diana Bryant. Hey, what's up, Diana? We were talking about love language should be the next topic that we talk about. Diana, do you know what your love language is? These are the signs of love making. That's not but that just made me think of that. But yeah, I think just to piggyback off what Kyle was saying, again, and we talked about it some in a previous live, but love language, knowing yours and knowing your partners, but I'm saying it from the perspective of knowing your partners, it just helps you understand better how to communicate love to them, because it's typically easier for us to communicate love to someone the way that we receive love. But the balance and the challenge is to find out the way that our partners receive love and then love them that way.
Yep. Every relationship, part of a relationship is being a servant.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. So the example that I gave last time, and I give it again, is that I had a friend, and he was sharing with me one time that his wife said that he only shows her affection when he's trying to have sex with her. And he was telling me, like, Jay, man, I show her affection more than when, I just trying to have sex. And I'm like, well, what do you do to show her affection? He's like, well, we walking around the house, different things. I smack her on the booty, he's like, hey, that's showing. And I'm like, that might not necessarily show her or get her engine revving for later on. You know what I'm saying? We also talk in terms of, from the male perspective, that you have to make deposits into your wife's account. You know what I mean? And each person, those deposits can come in different things, because as men, we can't always be just trying to pull and withdraw from the account of our wives and our significant others, and we haven't put anything in.
Yeah, overdraft.
Yeah, definitely overdraft fees. Hey, crew, I see you, baby girl. Good to see you. Diana, you said a little bit of everything. Yeah, we all are a mixture of all of them, but what would you say like your primary two love languages are? Kathy, what are your love languages? I don't know yours. I don't know if we've ever had that talk. We probably have, but what are your love languages? Dang, Diana said, read the book, took the test, and resulted equally across the board. I don't think I've met anybody thus far that's had a kind of equal across the board. That's very intriguing. Very, very intriguing. You complicated then. Nah, I'm joking.
You can never get it wrong.
Kathy said affection and what are all of them again? So you got acts of service, affection, time, touch, and gifts. Dinah, with you being across the board equal, has that posed any challenges in your relationships or for your significant other? So Kathy is affection and time. I like it. Okay. I don't know, Crew. I'm kind of shocked that you said time. I don't know why. Why am I shocked by that? I could just picture you, JJ. I be want to just get up off me. Why y'all up in my face? I could just see you saying something like that.
And how often do you make your mate aware of the importance of those?
That's another good point. And Schemes was talking about how often do you make your mate aware of how important those things are. I think it's always good to review. Look, Diana said, very much so. You have no idea. I told you complicated. Diana, we need to talk, girl. We need to talk. Are you in a relationship right now? Yeah, because Diane, I'm gonna put you in that book in that category of women is I'm hungry, but I don't know what I want to eat. Are you one of them too? Oh, she says she's in a relationship right now. Man, I would love to talk with your significant. Oh, Kathy says she's mentioned it from time to time. Okay.
But is that like in passing, or is that like in a certain?
Oh no! I think she's talking about.
Oh, okay.
What I said to her as far as thinking that she would want somebody up in her face, but but for Diana, this is the last question I'm gonna ask you. How, if you're just even across the board person, going back to what Skeen said, how do you, as your significant, how does he navigate that? How can a significant navigate that? Is it just, okay, I'm just cool with everything? Or again, does that add to the complexity of the situation that today I might not be on that? I might be on something else today.
Or is it never good enough?
That's what I'm saying. You know, what you mean time? I ain't on time today. Today I'm on acts of service. What you mean acts of service? Today I'm on gifts. What you talking about? Oh, my bad, Nan. She said not currently in a relationship. Okay. How long you been single? And Kathy, I got a question for you over here, not in your current relationship, but in your prior relationship. Were you even in a mature place in that relationship where y'all were even discussing or even bringing up love languages, or were y'all just so young that y'all were just still in that place of trying to figure it out? Kathy says she tends to mention the affection in time when I notice things are becoming distant. Okay.
Let's see.
That time is a little bit too late.
Yeah, that has to be.
It's got to be like a tune-up.
It has to be. Those things have to be at the forefront.
Yeah, you got to do preventative maintenance.
Yeah.
You know, you can't wait for the engine to start ticking and then try to figure out what's up. You know, you got to be doing the oil changes and things of that nature beforehand. That's where the importance of the communication piece in the relationship comes from. You know what I'm saying? And those, we always talk about checking in with each other. I get on my wife's nerves sometimes that I check in a little bit too much, maybe. So I do have to balance it. And it's all about balance. You know, I have to dial that back sometime, always trying to check in and dig into her psyche and stuff like that. But yeah, that's you do have to do those checks. Yeah, Diane, I see this a little delayed, but that's why I'm just waiting on your it's cool. I see your responses coming up. It's all good. But yeah, Kathy, that's what I was thinking. At that stage in the game, y'all were so young, you know, there wasn't any. And again, even for me, the love language thing didn't come into my mind of my relationship until much, much later. And my dad gave me a cool book that was called Love and Respect. That's one of the ones I think is in the top 2 for me, relationship books. Y'all go ahead and check that out on Amazon, Love and Respect. And it kind of, the simplistic synopsis of it is that it breaks down that in the relationship, for the most part, in general, men want to be respected, women want to be loved. And when a woman feels loved less, she respects less. And when a man feels respected less, he loves less. So it's about the balance in energizing each other to be at your best, for the man to be loving and for the woman to be respecting to her man. Diana, man, officially single 3 years, 1 month after a 15-year marriage. Woo! Man, y'all had some time in the game, Doc. Would you say that the relationship falling apart, would you say it was more you, him, a little bit of both? Any insight that you can provide to the audience as far as how you can maybe miss some of those pitfalls that you guys may have had? Yeah, Kat, a lot of stuff that we talk about, there's no just all the way this way or that way. It's about fighting for that balance in the relationship between one another. Skeens and I always talk about it in a relationship, depending on when y'all get together. Again, I use myself for example. Liz and I got together when I was 20 and she was 18. And, you know, you got basically, just rounding up, we got 20 years of life experience. We got 20 years of how our parents raised us. We got experience in relationships. We got good, bad, ups and downs, all that. And then we come together in November of 2002 and we're trying to, you know, figure that thing out and mesh it together. And that's where the challenge is. And that's where the fight for the balance in a relationship comes in. But one of the things I think that's key, as we're talking about, again, going back to the title of the episode, is have independent women found that their independence has led to successful relationships or a lack of relationship. But the idea in general, though, is to keep in mind that just like relation, whether it's romantic or not, a lot of it has the same nuts and bolts to it. You know what I'm saying? It has the same nuts and bolts, and what we mean by that is that you're going to encounter one thing. A part of it is that you're going to encounter issues. You're going to encounter stress, struggle, and strain. But the idea is that with the intention of being successful is that you fight through those things. You fight through those times, and that's why Skeens and I were always trying to highlight. And while we may have a title or something that's controversial, so to speak, the idea of it is for us to get to a place of balance so that we can hold and maintain healthy relationships.
So would you say that when the relationship is at its worst, the reassurance should be at its all-time high?
Absolutely. That's a good point. Liz, it's we on YouTube live too. So we're on Instagram and YouTube over here on the laptop. But no, say that again.
So like the question is, do you think when the relationship is at its worst, the reassurance should be at its all-time high?
Yeah, it's the whole thing of that.
I hate you. I can't stand you right now.
Right.
But for the longevity,
right,
I have to get past myself and past that ego and the hurt that I may feel to really sow into you, vice versa, to maintain or get past this terrain,
right.
this moment that we're facing.
Right.
Because every relationship, every situation, there's gonna always be some turbulence.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
it's gonna be some turbulence on this flight.
Yeah, part of that I need a what you're talking about. I need a co-pilot.
Yeah, for sure.
And we both have to really hone in and make sure that we get through this rough patch. But it is going to require all hands on deck.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think again, I remember again Bishop Holcomb used to always talk about how it's easy to quote unquote be in faith, but really it takes no exercising of your faith when things are going right. You know what I'm saying? When all my bills are paid, it's going down. We just bought a new house. We just bought a new car. We just went on vacation. I mean, it's easy to say that my relationship is dope then, but it's when those issues, again, the stress, struggle, and strain come up when I can't stand you. When y'all know how it is sometimes in your relationship some mornings you roll over and look at that person, you be like, man, where did I go wrong? I just went,
old Chris Rock just said, if you never contemplate killing, you never been in love.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's during those times that you have to exercise your love. You got to exercise the perseverance. You got to exercise those muscles of communication. But as we talked about, where you have to do the preventative maintenance, you can't, again, in that time, when the fight is on, as one of my mentors tell me, when it's going down, hey man, ain't no time for prayer right now. You had to already be praying to be prepared for what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
In the words of boxing, protect yourself at all times.
Protect yourself at all times. So that's where it comes in, that you do got to do that preventive maintenance in your relationship. Diana said we were perhaps too young, chasing the white picket fence dream, starting a family early. Saw the world later on, and it all had to offer. We grew apart. Okay. But yeah, that's where you with intentions in relationships is something that you're always trying to cultivate, advance, and improve in your relationship. And Skeens and I have talked about it before. Not only is just your relationship gonna evolve as you two relate to one another, the relationship is going to change because you're changing and evolving as well. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? The Jay of 20-year-old Jay that is in March will be 39. I'm not the same guy, nor should I be. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't be that same guy. So as I've evolved, one thing that I have tried to do, because talking from the male perspective, as much of a communicator as I am, what you'll find sometimes is that the challenge is that you might not even be able to communicate with your spouse as well as you're able to communicate with outside folks. Mm-hmm. And a part of that is because you'll find that, like, again, one of my homegirls that's on here right now, Kathy, I can have a conversation with Kathy a certain way about a challenge that I have or something that I'm thinking or feeling, because that communication is free.
We talk about proximity.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So sometimes when I'm too close and too invested in you,
there you go.
You don't take my advice.
Right.
Because from your optics, it sounds like I'm talking down to you.
Right.
Or I'm being judgmental.
Right.
But really I'm trying to instill or pass on some words of encouragement or correction. Mm-hmm. But because it's me, you don't want to hear from me, but you'll go pay $300-400 an hour to go talk to a therapist who's going to tell you the same thing that I'm telling you.
Right.
As well as to that person, you just a check.
Right.
There's Absolutely. No real. They're not really invested in you.
Right.
They're just telling you enough that's going to keep you coming back. Because the money is in the research, not the medicine. They're not going to give you everything all the tools you need in that first session, because they got to keep walking you down. They got to keep you hooked. Like a drug dealer. The first hit is free.
Absolutely. First one's always free. Absolutely.
So they're not really invested in. They don't. I'm not going to say that they don't care, but as I said, they're not as vested in you as the people who really care about you.
Yes. So that's one of the challenges of the balance in the relationship, is because this communication costs. As the person that's receiving this, let's say as the receiver, am I willing to hear this information and not charge the person? Hey. Oftentimes we're not, though. And what's the charge? And my attitude around the house, how I respond, how I'm walking around here with my face turned up, we ain't talking, that kind of thing. But really, if we're in a healthy, loving relationship, and we're communicating with each other out of a place of love. Now, we don't want to communicate with each other out of malice and just going upside each other's head type of thing with our words and actions and things like that. But if I'm communicating to you from a place in a position of love, as the receiver, I need to take that information in, digest it, consider it, and then we implement after that.
Well, also, as you talk about the charge, the payoff holds more weight than the charge.
Absolutely.
Because of the residual return on investment.
Right. Exactly. There you go. Yeah.
No money charged, but I have so much more peace in my household.
Right.
No money being charged, but I know I've helped it may not be the person that you're with, but you've helped someone in your family or a friend or so on and so forth to become a better person, or to have peace in their household, or to find that person who they're meant to be with, and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. So the return on investment is a lot more. There's a lot more there than what it would be if I was to charge you $20.
Right.
It's not about the money. The money is really holds no weight. The money it has no more weight than the weight of the money.
Right. And Kathy made a good point. She was like, it's like we in this together. I'm not against you, sir. Exactly. And that goes on both sides. You know what I'm saying? And she said, I get charged. And then the next day is, you right, babe. That's funny. She said, why I got to get charged, though? Right. And that's the mature place that we want to get to, Kathy, is where we can take in that information without the charge. You know what I'm saying? Without the charge.
All pro bono work.
Yep. Liz Tedisco said our marriage counselor was the best for us. Yeah. And that's a part of, again, the preventative maintenance counseling. A couple, another couple that you trust to be, unbiased mediators between you two, stuff like that.
The counseling should happen before you get it. It's no different than going to driver's ed before you drive a car.
There you go. Absolutely.
Somebody had to teach you how to drive. Absolutely. You had to read the manual, so on and so forth, before you got on the road by yourself.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. I was thinking, Diana, I know it's been a while since you, after you came out of that relationship. Are you open to dating right now? Inquiring minds would like to know. But yeah, preventative maintenance, man. Before the marriage, during the marriage, all of that stuff helps. Liz and I, we have folks that we can go to and bounce things off of. There's people that trust us to come to us, and we've at times done FaceTimes all together, just sharing things, challenges that we're going through, challenges in the relationship, challenging and still finding time to be intimate with one another, challenges or how to balance these kids, all that kind of stuff.
But also, if you're going to invite others,
yes,
make sure you do a great job of vetting.
Right. You got to have sound counsel. It's got to be sound counsel. Can't just be anybody. It can't just be anybody.
Let me see your resume.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure. Funny story, Liz Tedisco that's on the live over here on Instagram. I was at their home and we were sitting talking when my wife was pregnant with our second child. And I was sharing, just talking. I was telling her how I went through some, stages of after I was processing how I was feeling about being an unexpected father for the second time. My son is getting ready to be 7 years old. Here we come talking about another kid. I'm like, what? And I'm talking to Mrs. Tedisco, and I was like, man, I was sitting there processing how I felt. And I'm like, yo, I'm going through some stages of grief. Like I'm going through anger, denial. And then I was getting into acceptance, all this stuff. And she was like, that's the thing, with unexpected parents. I'm like, for real? And so we shared some things about that, what it's like to be unexpected parents and the process that you go through. You know what I'm saying? So, again, just another a couple that, I trust, and, her husband and I are like blood brothers, but somebody I can trust and come to when I'm going through things in my relationship and stuff like that. So that's a part of, again, what Skeens and I are trying to do. While we always talk about relationships and us getting on these lives and sharing, being just open and honest what we go through. You know what I'm saying? That's what builds the community, and sharing those things that people, it's all a learning experience, whether you've been through it or not. It's all learning. You know what I'm saying? And then you can share somebody else's story of perseverance or what they gone through in their relationships and how they came out of it. You can share that with somebody else and add that to your Rolodex and to your war chest of information of how to make these long lasting, healthy, successful relationships. So that's what the intent is. Right. Yeah. Liz is talking about she got pregnant when she was on an IUD. My Liz had been on birth control for 6 years. 6 long years, man, of shooting the club up. And here comes
she like Tony Montana.
You know what I'm saying? I still stay. She would take, you know what I'm saying? Baby girl, it was going down. You know what I'm saying? It was going just and guys, what it really was, I'll share this with you guys too, is that, and we're going off on a tangent, but whatever. We just talking. One thing for me is that I've always tried to, I try not to speak in absolutes, but in general, I've tried to live my life pretty regimented in a certain way. The way I move, who I'm around, what I do, I try to have my bearings about myself, and I try to, maintain myself as an upstanding man that's strong about my commitment and genuine interaction with people, and I don't take it lightly that I have a certain ability to communicate and build relationships with people. You know what I mean? That's a God-given talent. And then I'm very serious about my faith. So in general, I've carried myself. I've had my ups and downs just like anybody else and missteps. But in general, I carry myself a certain way. And so my life has been very regimented, very planned. It's gone a certain way. And when this second kid was coming, man, I'm just like, Lord, what is this? You know what I'm saying? This is upset the apple cart of my life and my plans, and I want to have money for this and to invest and do this and la. And it was in that moment, it was a few things that happened. Well, one of my friends basically reassured me, like, the reason you having another baby, man, is because God trusts you to have another baby, trusts you and your wife to raise another child. I was like, okay. And then just in my prayer time and just meditation, God, I was talking to God about it, and just like, Jay, while you think that it's been all of how great and wonderful you are and all this wonderful planning, and again, dealing with my ego, and this guy was like, it wasn't you, it was me the whole time. So just like that was me to maintain and sustain you then, is going to be me to maintain and sustain you guys now. And that was just an eye opener for me. And, the rest is history. And, everything has fallen in pleasant places. You know what I'm saying? So, dang, I forgot about that. Liz said she also got pregnant again with the tube tied. Yep. I forgot about that, sister. I did. Yep. Diana, I like to say I am. She said, Diana, I asked Diana if she was open for a relationship. She said, I like to say I am, but I don't think I'm ready yet. I don't have the patience for getting to know new folks. The honeymoon phase and all the modern day dating scene. And she basically saying all the stuff that the modern day dating scene brings. Yep. I feel you on that. But I think if you have, as Skeens and I talk about, if you have a solid selection process, that knocks all of that stuff out of the way. If your selection process is on point. If your selection process is on point. And I think, Diana, too, that Skeens and I'll add this, is that women will ask, what is the selection process? A part of the selection process, and we talked about this on Instagram Live a couple weeks ago, is that we women, men, in the beginning of the relationships, if you make the beginning of the relationship harder and where it's not just where a person has immediate access to everything that you are, and where you just have flooded them, because oftentimes you'll find that we say too much at the beginning of a relationship. We basically give a person that we just met our complete game plan of who we are, and then we get to this mode of, I just feel so good, I can just share everything with you, and you laid out the game plan. And if that person isn't the right person, you basically giving the keys to your house to a stranger.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? They're playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sometimes we can say a lot and say nothing.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So which in terms is like you tell a person a whole lot of grandiose things, but you never really tell them who you are.
Right. Absolutely.
So I get the Sports Center highlight package.
Yep.
But I don't really know who you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nor do I know what you really want from me.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And vice versa.
That's key.
So yeah, I may see these different things. You telling me the great things about you. My job is this. I got this. I'm doing this. But who are you?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And how if we are to become one, how do we complement each other?
You got to look at that. Yes.
So a lot of that becomes an issue at times. Talking about all the other things, we need to get to the meat and potato.
Yeah.
Because you may be a principal, you may have the greatest, wonderful job, but I don't need to see you with the makeup. I need to see you as the person that I'm going to look at every day, makeup free, first thing in the morning. That's how real and raw that we need to be with each other.
Talk about it.
That way, I can know what I can handle and what you can't,
right?
And vice versa. So
that's real.
We got to throw all the extra stuff away. And sometimes the different people in our life may tell, well, don't tell them about your kid. Tell him later. No. That brother.
Those are things they got to know up front.
Yeah. Or vice versa. Hey, that brother got 5 kids. You need to know that up front. Because if you're going to be with him with those 5 kids, that means that he has one. I hate to say the terms baby mother. He gonna have one or multiple, and now they're going to be integrated in your household, your life. And you're going to have to come to some form of commonality to make sure those relationships are as smooth as they possibly can be. And help that person to be a better parent and vice versa. Indeed. Now, if that person don't interact or deal with his kids or her kids in the right way, guess what? You have a precursor to what it's going to be if you're going to be with that person. That's the preview to the movie.
Absolutely. Oh, look, man, we got Chuck on here, man.
Chuck.
That boy Chuck. That's him, man. That boy Chuck. He said, I feel where Diana's coming from, but the new early phase is crazy. In this millennial world, I prefer that phase to be more organic. It just feels better. Okay. Well, I think that's kind of what Skeens is talking about is kind of, again, we talk about the social media age all the time because, I mean, again, what are we using right now to interact with each other? Social media. But it's the way about which that we go with using it. Oftentimes we'll find that we're using this social media age just to continue with the facade of who we are.
To a detriment.
You know what I'm saying? So we make these, not knocking it, ladies, but again, dudes do it too, but we're using these filters and we're doing these things all in an effort to not show who we really are. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But we talk about keeping it real.
At the same time. But we're doing all of these things, not showing who we really are. You know what I'm saying?
But we catfishing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I think the sooner that we get to a place, again, with intention in our relationships and in healthy relationships, I can't remember. I think that was a song, Flaws and All. Was it Christina Aguilera? Yeah, I might be getting it wrong, but there was a song called Flaws and All. And when you're in a healthy relationship and you find that person, you're able to expose your flaws and all. And that person, again, as we're talking about, Kathy, there's no charge for showing the flaws. There's no charge for that. Now, again, as we talk about with balance, you can't have somebody that's so flawed to a nature that it becomes detrimental. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about the normal flaws that we all have as human beings. But we're all, I saw it was a young lady, and I can't remember exactly what she was talking about, but they were discussing, physically what men look at and look for, and different things like that. And I can't remember what the metrics or numbers that she gave, but she gave some ridiculous number, and the dude was like, "You tell me you ain't using no, your waist trainer? I'm just naturally like that." And it's like, again, ladies, Skeez and I did an episode about this. Ladies, we appreciate you how you are. I got to say, now that's one thing I'll say to the lady. We appreciate you how you come, fresh out the box. You ain't gotta add nothing to it. Just the pure feminine and masculinity. When those things come together like that, we appreciate that. You understand what I'm saying to you? We appreciate that. So as Chuck was talking about organic, organic, man.
Yep.
Organic.
But you know what? One thing is a lot of people want the finished product, but we showing the process of getting to that finished product. We don't know what all it took for that person to become that person.
Right. So wait, Kathy, on talking about I love my filters. Though, post a picture without no filters, crew. I've been calling you my crew for almost 20 years. Post a picture with no filter. Go ahead, my bad.
No, but we want the finished product.
Right.
We want all that person, but that finished product, we don't know what took that person to get there.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And if that product is finished, how much more growth is there to come about?
Right. Mm-hmm.
You want to be able to grow with that person and have those exponential growths, so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. But if all the thing that you want is a finished product, then are we not somewhat vain?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Indeed. Let's see, Diana. Absolutely. That's what I kept getting was the makeup, income, travel plans, etc. This is how I handle stress, or just get the raw. Living near Baltimore doesn't make it any better. Laugh out loud. Big facts. Yeah. Appreciate that, Chuck. Yeah, for real, Diana. Diana, I have hope that you can find an organic, real relationship. You just let me and Skeens know when you're ready, man, so we can give you this knowledge in this game, so we can get you back in the game, baby. You know what I'm saying? But no, Kathy, all jokes aside, I mean, the filters and stuff, I got it. Girls use the filters, the fun filters, little things all around. I get that. But there's a faction of people that are posting filtered and altered bodies, faces, and stuff as though that's how they really look. Again, to portray this level of perfection is not even human.
Bro, it's like Smokey on Friday. Man, she look like Janet Jackson.
Yeah, Janet Jackson. And she came up, ooh, what's up? Not a damn thing. But yeah, that's what we talking about, man, is when we pretending out here, man. We pretending. And we know real life, it comes with blemishes. Real life comes with stretch marks. Real life comes with gray hairs. Real life comes with imperfections. So you got to ask yourself, what is this society that we live in now, where we got to portray again that it's not. It's a delusion. It deluded. Wanted to be separated from reality. You know what I'm saying? Dudes running around. We'll talk about from the man perspective. Man, a chick gotta be thick like this, and no waist and no stretch. Fool, that's not real life. Stop it.
So once she actually has stretch mark, are you saying that's your out?
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about here? Women's bodies are having babies and losing weight, gaining weight. You talking about no stretch? Man, get out of here, man. Get out of here. I love all of that, baby. We take all that. Stop it. Stop. Have a good night too, Diana. What we've been on? Hour 8. Okay, yeah. we always, our intent is like to talk 20 or 30 minutes, but we just keep going. So anyway, we love to run our mouth. We love talking to y'all, man. But again, this is a branch off of the How Did We Get Here show. Again, how did we get here on YouTube? Like, comment, subscribe, share. Help us to grow this community. Help us to grow in this content game. We're going to have much more content. We want to have the hard conversations. Let's be real. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Let's be real about how we feel. Let's be real about our challenges. not just our triumphs. Let's be real about our challenges, not just our triumphs. Anyway, I'm your boy Jay Carter, and the man that is always heard and never seen.
You.
My man Schemes. We will see y'all on the next one. Love, peace, and blessings.